Hello and namaste. Welcome to this restorative practice that is going to invite stillness into our bodies and our minds. It's a lovely practice that will incorporate some very easy stretches that feel really good, nothing hard here, and then some restorative poses that are also, we'll be using props. So the props are things that you can get in your house. One will be a large pillow, such as this king pillow if you have that, or two standard pillows. I have a couple of yoga blankets here. If you don't have the yoga blankets, you can get a couple of large towels and fold them up so they're more compact. Also a block. I have a yoga block. You can use a couple of books. You can also use a 12-pack of LaCroix, as my friend and yoga studio owner Laura suggested, which I think is a brilliant idea. So I'm going to begin to sit on the block just to help ease myself into this practice. I find that helps my lower back, it tilts the pelvis, and you can begin to find that stillness in the grounding of your body as we allow ourselves to slow down, relax. Okay, place your hands face down on your knees, and you can have a soft gaze here. Okay. So the beginning of a restorative practice might be a little hard for some of us to unwind, but I can guarantee that by the end of this practice, you will feel so much better. You might even be able to sleep better, or if you're doing this in the middle of the day, be more productive, focused. So much of our energy is zapped away when we are just overactive in the mind. So when we can bring ourselves into our bodies, it just slows everything down. So continue to breathe here, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. We'll do 3 rounds of deep diaphragmatic breaths. Okay, so inhaling through the nose, into the belly, sit up tall. Exhale completely. Inhale deeply here. Again, that diaphragmatic breath into the belly. Exhaling. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Great. So relax your shoulders. Okay, notice what is happening there. Notice what's happening in the neck. The first stretching we'll do is actually within the neck. So just gently allow your chin to fall downwards towards your chest. Okay, and just feel just a noticeable stretch in the back of the neck. Roll your head over to your right and look up off to the right. Okay, exhale as you lower the head downwards. Roll it over to your left side. And then back over to your right side. Continue to breathe those nice long diaphragmatic breaths. And then back over to your left. And we'll come back to center with the head. Interlace the hands here behind the back. Open the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Okay, sit up really tall as you puff up your chest. And then relax the arms. Extend your right arm out to the side. If you can touch the mat, that's great. And then we'll start to tip the head over to your left side. Okay, we're going to feel that stretch all the way through the trapezius muscles. And then come back up to center. Take your left arm out to the side. Let your head then tilt over to your right. Stretch really long through the fingertips all the way up through the side of the head. And then come back up to center. Okay. So I'm going to remove my block. If it's easier for you to stay on top of your block, please do. Ideally, you're probably sitting in a cross-legged position. We're gonna work our ankles forward so they're more underneath our knees. That gets a bit more into your hips. So this might be more of a challenge for some of us who are tight in the hips, and that is the point. We're getting into the hip area that can hold a lot of tension and stress. Okay. So begin to walk forward with your hands. Again, lead with your sternum rather than rounding into the back. We lead with the sternum, keeping the spine long, then allow the head and the neck to bow forward. You can stay on top of your fingertips. You don't see that necessarily in this video, but I'm tenting my hands and on my fingertips as I reach forward. Okay. Walk yourself over to your right side. Okay. Here, I'll sink into my left hip. And try as best as you can to relax your body into these poses. Walk now over to your left side. Sink into your right hip here. Come back to center, and we'll roll back up the spine. Okay. Then taking your block or books or whatever the prop is that you are using, we'll come on our backs. I'm going to move my props out of the way for now so I can lay lengthwise. Okay. Moving into a supported bridge, this really is a nice way to down-regulate your nervous system as well. Draw your feet upwards towards your seat. The feet will be hips distance apart. Take your block, lift the hips, place your block underneath your sacrum. So that's just right behind your seat and on the lower part of your spine. We're going to just lay here. We'll lay here and open up the front body. Okay, feel yourself using that gravity to sink down backwards into your mat. So your shoulders are melting back into and towards the ground. Okay, if this is easy and your prop isn't high enough, you'd like a bit more of a lift here, you can always turn the block as you will to your height to draw yourself into a higher bridge pose. Take a few more rounds of breath. Just notice yourself becoming still within this pose. We're going to stay here for another 3 breaths. Again, just try not to expect anything. Just let that go and be here. Okay, last breath. Okay. Now we're going into a pose that is very, very helpful for down-regulating our nervous system. We'll be beginning to extend our legs upwards towards the ceiling. So we're still on our prop, so make sure that prop is secure underneath the lower back. And we're reaching the legs up, allowing our blood flow to reverse. The lactic acid that is often built up in our legs, that is also flushing downwards. I have my athletes and my boys who do a lot of sports do the legs up the wall. You can do this on the wall as well. It helps your legs to recover more quickly. when you're fatigued. This is a fabulous pose to do right before going to bed. People have said and studies have shown that this helps with sleep. So let's continue here for another 3 rounds of breath. And then lowering the feet back down. Okay, we're going to lift up the lower back, remove the block away, just lay flat on your back here. Okay, we'll cross the left ankle on top of the right knee, lift up that right leg, either interlace your hands behind your thigh or in front of the shin, depending on your flexibility in hip. And just breathe here. This takes a little time to get into that really strong glute muscle. Okay, if it's more effective for you to relax your right foot, you can place your right foot on a block or on the pillow just to prop up the foot. Whatever you need. This is about you being and feeling supportive so you can find that stillness. Okay, last breath here on this side. Okay, lower both feet back down. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, and we'll reach and lift up that left leg. And again, we'll interlace the hands to your capability and openness in that right hip. Continue to relax the shoulders back and just notice your breath here. Again, we let go of, again, trying to do anything, and we're just here. We're just here relaxing. We don't often give ourselves that gift. Last breath here. And then release the feet. We'll come back up to seated just to take hold of our pillow. You're going to love this one. This is a side stretch and a twist. It helps to twist our core and our abdominals to release some of the maybe binding that might be happening right there. So we're going to sit with our right hip along the pillow and just lay with your knees bent, and then your shins then are off to the left. We'll turn towards the pillow, and we're just laying on the pillow on our bellies the best you can. For some of you, you might want 2 pillows here or another blanket to bring it up. I'm going to use 1 blanket because my pillow is rather soft. So I lay down and cactus the arms, reach them forward a bit, and turn your head to the right. And we'll lay here for 3 to 5 breaths. Continue to take 1 or 2 breaths on that side. Adjust as you need to. And then last breath here. And then very slowly come on up to seated. We'll switch sides. So you can either turn yourself the opposite direction or take that whole set of pillow and blanket with you to the opposite side. So now that pillow is on your left hip, knees are bent. Turn towards your pillow or blanket and begin to lay down. Chest first. Turn your head to your left, and then allow the body to release as much as possible. And we'll stay here for another 4 breaths. You might notice the right side, left side difference in the tightness in the sides of the hips. And last breath here. Okay, and then we'll very slowly come up. Let your head be the last thing to lift. And then the very last pose that we will do is laying backwards on your pillow. I'll be taking my blanket and placing it at the top of the pillow for my head. And actually, I'm going to prop up the top of that pillow even more underneath with the block. So we'll turn now. The pillow is then at the very lower part of your back. And then just start to lay down. So this is how we're going to end our practice. And I'll lay down and breathe with you for a few rounds, but I really encourage you to just continue on. You may even fall asleep. And if you're wanting that, needing that, that's a wonderful, wonderful way to end the practice, is just to fall asleep. So come on down on your pillow prop. And then lay back. Good. Your knees can do a number of things. They can just fall together with the feet wider than hips distance apart. That's constructive rest pose. They can also butterfly. We call this a Baddha Konasana. You can butterfly the knees if you want more of a inner groin and inner hip opener here as well. So breathing here. So my hope for you is that you have come to a place you have found greater ease in your body and in your mind, inviting that stillness. I'm going to count with you 3 breaths here. So let's all empty the air out. Inhaling for 1. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Exhaling. Inhale for 3. Exhale. So continue laying here. Encourage yourself to lay here. Maybe something that is not usual for you, but we need this more than ever now. Thank you and namaste.